Hello, hello. This is Christina, your host today. And today is the KSM podcast Growing Business Online with Christina. It's a new episode. And my pleasure, I have such a pleasure to have my special guest speaker today, Becca Heissel, far away from US, or Canada, I'm not sure. But Becca, welcome to the new episode of KSM podcast.
Yes, thanks, Christina. I am from Iowa in the USA, and I'm
Oh,
so
that's
glad to
nice.
be here with you today.
Yeah. Sometimes, have many different time zones and people around the world. And Becca, can you share with us who you are, what you do and you mentioned that you are far away from USA. I'm in Serbia, Southeast Europe, Belgrade.
Yeah, so over the last 6 years, I was a salesperson at a CPA firm, and every single business owner I would ask, do you get reports from your bookkeeper monthly? And 75% of the people would say no. And this became my biggest pet peeve. Like, what service are they paying for? There's books on how to market, there's books on how to parent, but the most important book as a business owner is your books. And so I saw a way of, financial literacy is not taught, how to manage money is not taught. And I just was like, how can we help these business owners more? And I started surveying and interpreting things, and I realized so many business owners business hop. They go from CPA to CPA to CPA, or bookkeeper to bookkeeper to bookkeeper, and realizing that once I started talking to them, their bookkeeper wasn't wrong or their CPA wasn't wrong. It was they didn't have the financial literacy. They didn't have the understanding of why they needed a bookkeeper. They just get a bookkeeper because they're a business owner and they think they need one, which they do. It's very important. Um, so I started Business Owners Advocate, and I want to be an advocate for business owners. I want to help educate business owners the questions that they should ask their CPA, the questions that they should ask their bookkeeper, to know why they need bookkeeping, and just to have a business plan and a life plan. I want their business to support itself and their personal life. So that's kind of what got me here. And we can dig in more with whatever questions you have. But that's what got me here is identifying a problem. And I just want to help as many business owners as possible.
That's fantastic. And as I know from your bio that you're a business strategist, but Becca, can you share with us what is your background? Just like, and after that, I'm going to ask you about how did you start your business? Because if you experience that in terms to have CPA, have bookkeeper, but don't know, for business owners, why they need to have it and what they need to do with that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a Jack Canfield certified trainer in the success principles. And that is what's really changed my life and given me foundation in my life. And I realized that there's nothing more important than what you want. But you have to really want it. You have to know what it is. You have to take full responsibility. You have to know the next steps that you're going to take. You have to ask yourself every day, what are 5 things I'm going to do today to take me closer to my goals? But the first thing is you have to know those goals and you have to really want them.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Canfield is my favorite coach, and I'm super happy with that because I didn't know that maybe, but I'm super happy that we are on the right track with the same coach. Yeah, that's fantastic. And when did you realize about that business journey, what you're doing now in terms of CPAs, bookkeepers, and their connection between business owners and that they need bookkeeper.
Honestly, it was probably about 3 years ago. So it was about, I've been doing this for 6 years, and the first 3 years it was just hearing those pain points. And then it's like, okay, like I'm hearing the same pain point over and over again. How can I help solve this problem? And I realized, when I think back to high school, and I even asked on Facebook, like in some of my groups, like, did you learn how to be a business owner in high school or school? Did you learn how to manage money? And financial literacy is not taught. And so I'm like, well, who can teach that? I can't help I would love to. And doing these helps spread the word. But I can't help every business owner in the world. So I'm like, well, who can? Well, everybody has to file a tax return. So a CPA is a good place to start. And bookkeeping is crucially important. And if they don't understand why they need a bookkeeper or what their bookkeeping does, then that was where I wanted to partner with CPAs and bookkeepers. And as helping business owners, when we get to their books, I bring in their bookkeeper and show them what I'm doing so that I can help two business owners at one time.
That's fantastic. And in terms did you experience that in your business journey, in terms what business owners need to ask questions to ask bookkeepers? And maybe can you share with us about some one or two questions what they need to ask their bookkeepers in connection what you do and what you coach as a business strategist and helps business owners and help business owners?
So first of all, you should definitely ask your bookkeeper for 4 reports. Every single month, you should have a coffee date with your business and go over those reports. But you should ask for a profit and loss. You should ask for a profit and loss detail, which is marketing, and then it will show like Canva and HostGator, or not HostGator, but whoever's doing your marketing. And then software, and it'll have Google and all the things. So it'll be by category and then the businesses that you paid. So profit and loss detail, and then profit and loss monthly, and that will show January, February, March. The profit and loss monthly is so important because if you increase your rates every year, which I totally advocate for, but if you increase your rates every year, you need to know what month historically is your largest income. So if you all of a sudden have $5,000 more every single June, then you want to raise your prices in May, not July. So that's one story or one financial decision will help you make. If you have a large month in August, you can say, whoa, what did I do in July to cause that good month in August? So it will help you make those decisions. And then you'll be able to identify if you have a leaking faucet that needs turned down or shut down. Like, are you spending $1,000 a month in marketing, but you're only generating $1,200? Your marketing person's probably not doing the best job for you. So they can help you make a lot of decisions. You can see where your money's going. And then the last thing is your bookkeeper should send you an uncategorized listing every month, things that they don't know what they are. Now, Verizon, everybody knows that's cell phone. Canva, everybody knows that's a marketing tool. But there's going to be some things that you buy that your bookkeeper might not know, and you want to make sure those things are categorized correctly. So those are the 4 things that you should expect from your bookkeeper monthly or ask them for.
And so this is so important, for every professional, because as you mentioned, you can work with business owners all around the world. It doesn't matter which kind of bookkeeping it is, QuickBooks or any other software for accounting, for managing your finances and business and everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's really nice, and this is for our listeners who will listen that, especially just to know to take just to focus on something which they didn't think about before we talk today and are talking with you, Becca. So and now when you started with this, who are mostly do you work with? Who are your clients when you started? And you mentioned 3 years ago as advocacy for that part of business.
A lot of small business owners, the ones that are not making $1 million yet, the ones that are making 100,000, the ones that are making 50,000. Because if you don't fix the fundamental problem, you're going to have the same problem at 100,000 that you did at 10,000. The only thing you're going to add is more zeros and bigger problems. And that's where a lot of the mindset comes in with the money talk, because so many people say, I want to make $1 million, and they're focused on that top line. But they are so focused on that top line that they could be negative on the bottom line and not pay attention. And the bottom line is what matters. That's how much money you have left at the end of the day. And so I work with a lot of small business owners, the ones that need help, because so many CPAs are more than willing to help $1 million business owners, or you reach a certain point in your business where you should hire somebody as your bookkeeper and admin and doing all the things. So I want to help the ones that are not at that point yet and help them figure out, okay, I need to hire a virtual assistant. I need to hire somebody to do my marketing. I need to hire somebody to do this. Okay, well, let's look at what your life costs. Let's look at what you want. What do you want? How much does it cost? Okay, now we know you need to make $20,000 a month. How are we going to achieve that? How many business owners do you need to work with at what price every month? So I help them with a math problem, and I want to help them hire people and get to the point where they can get help in their business.
And before you start working with them, do you do some kind of analysis for them and mapping some things, as you mentioned before, with your clients?
Yes. So my favorite 2 exercises that I do with everybody is, the first thing is you should make a list of 100 things that you want to do, to be, or to have. A bucket list, no restrictions, no, I want this, but I can't afford it. I want this, but it's too big. Just a dream big. What do they want in their life? 100 things to do, to be, or to have. And then to take that and break down in 7 categories: their personal life, their career, their lifestyle, their legacy. What is 3 things in each of those categories that they want now in the next 12 to 18 months? And what does it cost? What does it look like? What is it going to feel like when they achieve that? And then every single day, what is 5 things you can do that takes you closer to your goals?
Yeah, this is and this is a way how you can put your to-do list, what you want, where you want it to be, and do it. And you work with them to do it, to achieve it. Because
Yeah.
if you don't know how, just ask Becca. She can help you with this, because it's very structuring business what you do. Because I hosted many of my guest speakers, special guest speakers, but in terms of accounting and bookkeeping, I didn't have too much. But today I'm super happy with that to talk about, because every single small business owners needs your service, because especially when we have to the end of the year and have our balance, just to create that. Are we successful or not?
Yes. Yes, they should know that throughout the year, because if you're and not if it's successful or not, but like if you're not meeting your goals or meeting your targets, you need to be able to pivot. And one thing back on that 100 things to do, be, or have is, the one reason for that is because so many people say, I want a virtual assistant. And I say, okay, how much does it cost? I don't know. They want something and they think it's going to be too much, or they don't know. They just think, they have these little voices in their head telling them, and then they look at it and it's not even as expensive as they thought. And so that's why you have to know what you want and how much it costs, because so many people don't know how much it costs. But what was that last part that we were just saying? Sorry.
Yeah, and if they don't know, if they put that to-do list and put some measurable goals, as you said,
Yes.
if you have what you want to do it in next 18 months, what did you say?
Yes.
And they work with you about, and you work with them about it on that way, what they want and what they want to achieve as their goals. And to not wait
until the end of the year to find out if they're successful or not. That was the other part.
Yes, of course.
Yes. So, that's just it. They should not wait until the end of the year. it's just like if you put in the GPS that you want to go to New York City, you put your address in the GPS, you know exactly how to get there, you know where you're going, you know you're going to take a right on Emerald Street, you're going to take a left on the interstate. The same is true for your business. You need that business plan. You need to know, and the things that you want in your life too, not just your business. We want your business to support its personal life as well. But you need to know where you're going. You need to know that you need 10 clients a month at $500 a piece or $1,000 a piece, whatever it is. And you hold on to that vision and you know when you get there what you're going to achieve. Now, of course, roadblocks are going to come up, road closed are going to come up, but you can detour around them. But you have to stay focused on what the end goal is, what you really want. So you need to know those throughout the year. You can't just get to the destination and say, wow, like, or like break down, you know, and say, I didn't get there. Oh, well, I'll try next year. No, you should look at it in June and say, okay, I'm not so far off. I can still make some changes. I can make some detours and still get to my goal.
Yes, and when you mention, for example, XYZ person wants 10 clients, new 10 clients, how could you help them can you help them on that way to set that goal? And it's about, there are many people and business owners who are in stuck with clients, with clientele. And I know from my also experience and from my community, also working 14 years in the area of web and graphic design, and now in this coaching part, digital marketing coaching. And I know and met many amazing entrepreneurs, but they are still in stuck to get their ideal clients. Can you share with us your experience and how you could help them to achieve that goal?
Sure. So there's a few things. One is looking at their pricing structure. Some people say, oh, you get, it's $300 and you get 10 coaching sessions over the next 3 months. And that just doesn't, you can't wrap your head around that being reliable income. So a lot of it's switching to reoccurring monthly income. So for $500 a month, they get XY, we'll meet weekly or whatever. So some of it's changing the pricing strategies. And one revenue generating exercise I like to do is make a list of every single person you know and how you met them, whether you met Joe on the subway or you met Christina through Ilana's and you talk weekly, and you rate them from 1 to 10. 1, I met them one time on a subway, and 10, I talk to them weekly. They love me, they trust me, they know me. And you start with all your 10s and you say, do you know one person that I can help? Or who can I help? And you just ask. And a lot of retail stores, I say, if somebody couldn't afford my program, they're like, I really want this and I can't do it. And I say, do you have any upsells? Do you do any upselling? No. Okay, well, pick one item in your store. Let's figure out how many you need to sell to afford the coaching program. When all those items are done, bam, you can work with Becca. And so a lot of it's just looking at their structures, their pricing, identifying their numbers. If there's a leaky faucet that needs shut off, if what they're paying for marketing is working. But those are just a few of the things.
So, and you can, as you mentioned, if you put that list and you know who are people on your list, how do you connect with them, how do you handle with them on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and how can you ask them in terms, as you mentioned. And thank you for sharing that, because it's so, for our listeners, maybe people aren't stuck with clients, to be honest, because I know depends, because as a business owner you need someone to run that. You cannot do you couldn't be alone, because I think that 8 hours per day, it's too much small pair of hours to be a human being, to be with family, to be manager, leader, business owner, and manage all those kind of things. So we need to earn money to pay VA, as you mentioned, depends where VA is from, to price it, to see what, and create that list, create that plan for having and delegating our employees in our business.
Yes. Yeah, so many business owners are wearing all the hats. They're doing their marketing, they're doing the admin, they're doing this, they're doing that. And, they're working in their business, and I want to help them work on their business. Why did they go into business? Was it for time freedom? Was it for money freedom? They had this dream, and then they end up, their business runs the show. And I want to help them switch that into what they really wanted from their business. Why are they in business? And it really comes down to, I always say how to manage money was not taught in school, but you know what was taught in school was the annoying questions of who, what, when, where, why, and how. And so the who is you, and you need to know your why. Why did you do this? Why do you want that? When you go to buy something, why do I want this? Is this something I want? What do you want? And then how much does it cost? And so it's really who, what, when, where, why, and how.
That's fantastic. And Becca, can you share with us, do you have your own business company, your
I do.
agency?
Yes.
Because
Yes. My business is Business Owners Advocate. And so anybody can find me online at businessownersadvocate.com. And my email is Becca at businessownersadvocate.com.
and what is
And
your favorite social media platform where listeners
LinkedIn.
can connect with you? Because Kesson Podcast Growing Business Online is just to focus on business owner to spread the word, to share their message about their business, and try to figure out and market themselves internationally. So this is the right place for you as well to share your knowledge, and people can connect with you to help them with that way in terms to bridge the gap between CPAs and business owners. Here is
Yes.
Becca. She can help you a lot. Just connect with her.
Yes. Thank you so much. LinkedIn is definitely my favorite platform.
Yeah, that's lovely, Yeah, and are you present on Facebook and Instagram as well, or just LinkedIn
Um,
is your favorite, as you
Facebook, I
mentioned?
do have a business. You're good. I do Facebook Lives weekly on Business Owners Advocate LLC page. My LinkedIn is a personal, just Becca Heissel, and I'm very active on there and doing LinkedIn articles and helping as much as I can. And I do have Instagram under Becca Heissel, but I'm not very active on there. But yes, definitely Facebook and LinkedIn is where I am most active.
This is fantastic, and thank you for sharing. And Becca, I always ask my guest speakers. I asked you many questions today, and you share such amazing story and some kind of session, about bookkeeping, about structuring and gapping, and how to overcome, to know much more about what to ask CPA. Is that correct? Maybe I
Yes.
try to explain
No, you're
how I
great.
understood that. And for business owners who wanted to start business or have business idea, and can we encourage? Do you? And I didn't ask you. Do you mostly work with female entrepreneurs, women, men, or mixture?
I will work with a mixture. There's 12 million women-owned businesses in the US, and 88% are making less than $100,000. So I was focused on female entrepreneurs because there's definitely a need for them and they need the most help. But I can help anybody.
That's fantastic. And you work online and offline, of course, because you mentioned
Yes.
that you can work all around globally, That's
Yes.
fantastic. And for all of you who wanted to start your business or just want to experience something new in terms of with CPA, with your bookkeeper, just please connect with Becca and she can help you a lot. So do you have some kind of strategy session call or consultation for listeners who will connect with you?
Absolutely. I would love to offer them a free strategy session to look at where they are and where they want to be and how to get there and give them the first step. And that is at business owners, plural, advocate.com. And there's a free strategy session right there, right on the front of the page.
Yeah, and this is your gift for our listeners, free strategy session call.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing. And I will put all links below video, which is going to be in my Facebook group. Also, audio is going to be on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, podcaster, and I think the Google podcast will be cut off maybe in June. I'm not sure. But anyway, Becca, it was lovely talking to you today. You shared such amazing story, very useful, very beneficial, and you share some kind of masterclass today, to be honest. And I learned a lot from you today. I must share that.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here to help more business owners.
Thank you so much, and see you very soon here if one of our new episode of KSM Podcast. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. Bye for now.
Thanks, you as well. Bye.
Bye.